For my Canadian followers who keep asking why Americans don't protest more aggressively, it's because our cops like unaliving us. Like, they enjoy it so much that it's the main reason for the majority of the protests in America over the past 20 years. Because in other countries, significant protest works, significant organized protest works. Other countries do not have this thoroughly militarized of a police. Like, France technically does, but the French people are arguably better at protesting than anyone else, so they are an outlier and should not be counted. Every time Americans try protesting something in a meaningful way that actually has an effect, our government ends up shooting at us. Like, look up the Kent University massacre, where members of the National Guard opened fire on unarmed college students because they were protesting against Vietnam. Look up the Black Lives Matter protests of 2020 and how Columbus Police Department stole a prosthetic leg off a kid who wasn't even involved in the protest because he was nearby. Look up how many people in the United States are still missing after the 2020 protest who were picked up by police and no one heard from them since. We want to protest. We want to make things change. The system in America is deliberately organized to attack people who try to change the status quo.
You know, that's funny. I've seen people here protest for animals, for trees, the forest, birds, even protests for insects, right? When it comes to rights for humans, though, and others, for you to have to care about actual humans, it's an issue. And if you think I am going to show up for this, one more thing. It's never not cost somebody's life to say they didn't agree with the government. Period. Anywhere around the world. So this story and analogy is inaccurate, highly unlikely inaccurate. It's because you don't want to and you're scared. I'm not doing this for you. You can have an excuse for an excuse, because the police has always been utilized as a military style opposition. And the civil rights movement, which a lot of people felt like it should actually be able to benefit a lot of Black people. It benefited people like this person who was speaking and white women, more so than Black people, to be honest. I am Black. I'm a woman, I'm disabled, and I'm neurodivergent. Never have I been represented at any of these tables as far as, oh, you protested, you did this, we're going to represent you and your issues. It was always, we'll do this later. Let them get in, and then that's later. Later never came. Later has never come for us. So if you're asking, when foreign women ask me where I am, they know. Because we've had these conversations at length that the people who literally have things to lose don't even think they should lay down their life for this. Like, you can have kids and you don't think your kids are worth you laying your life down for. You don't think so. Or you have the ability to go to a whole nother country because somebody's going to sponsor you over there. Unlike people who have to stay here who don't have the means. So instead of saying, oh, the cops, no, the problem is you all want to sit here and have these, think pieces without action. It has always been this way. The fact that you were never prepared, there are people in other countries who know how their countries work. And you can say, oh, they'll unalive us and people have been missing. People have always gone missing who look like me. But it matters now because you don't want to go missing, is what you're saying. You don't think you should have to go missing. The Freedom Riders, they prepared people during the Civil Rights Act that these things might happen. This is what we need to do to get rights in this country. And for people to say, oh, well, we won't have basic rights, and they're just like, okay, and disassociating. Say that. I'm okay with you saying, I want to disassociate, I'm going to, but to literally sit here and talk about things that are irrelevant to the conversation. He said, give me liberty or what? Exactly.